the area where people were boarding the train, there was someone there, a train attendant who did not look like me. And this train attendant took a look at me, not my ticket, and said, "Here, come on, get on this car right now. This is your car. We're about to take off." I then noted what he said, but didn't trip because I was just happy to be on the train. I had made the train, and so because I was happy to just be on the train, noting that he did not look at my ticket, he just looked at me and then told me to get on a particular car. I got on that car and took my seat. The train takes off. The train is making its way from Baltimore to Washington, D.C. And as the person who checks the tickets is moving through the train car, he stops and asks me for my ticket. I hand him my ticket. He told me, "You do know this is a first-class ticket." I said, "Yes, it is." I said, "Where am I?" He said, "You're in the coach car." I paused right there. I said, "I was told to get on this car." He said, "Told by who?" I was told by the person who was outside telling people to get on the train. He said, "And you went along with that without checking where you were and the car that you were riding on and the ticket that you had?" Let me park here parenthetically and see if I can help you. In a real sense, this person reached a conclusion about me even though they did not know me. I'm not even done. They reached a conclusion about me and then treated me accordingly. Y'all still not getting this. They looked at me, not what I had, but they looked at me and made a judgment about me based on what they saw on the outside. I'm stopping right there because y'all playing like y'all not getting it, but is there anybody in here who can testify that people have made judgments about you and have assigned a place for you simply because of what they see on the outside? But I'm not even done because the sad reality is I was sitting in coach even though I had paid a first-class ticket. That meant I had paid more than anybody else who was in that coach car to ride in that coach car. Y'all still didn't get that. I paid a higher price to ride where other people were. It dawned on me, is that what it means to be black-bodied in these yet-to-be United States of America? You pay a higher price just to ride where other folk are, that they, in a real sense, are in coach. I'm not even done because the worst thing is I had a first-class ticket, but I had a coach class mentality. I think I'll stop right there because I want to hang out there and suggest that maybe the reason I settled for settling was because of my mentality that allowed someone to tell me and direct me where I was to go based on what they had seen as opposed to knowing what I had. And my brothers and sisters, I'm not alone. It's a whole lot of us who have allowed other folk to direct us and place us based on what they've seen about us. It happens in our whack education system as our children are miseducated in too many instances by a system that makes judgments about them based on the economic background that they come from. So in this nation, because we use tests to determine just how smart children are, even though, don't miss this, children come from different socioeconomic backgrounds and they have to take the same test, and those schools are fed more money that you have a have-got neighborhood, and if you come from a have-not neighborhood, you get less resources, and yet you got to take the same test subject to the same consequences or different consequences, even though some start out with more resources than others, and yet they have to still take the same test. I'm simply trying to say a judgment is made on them based on something over which they have no control. And with that being the case, I'm hoping somebody came here today who has made up your mind, since my fare has already been paid for. Y'all missed your shout right here. I'm going to go ahead and do it one more time. You know why I'm first class? Because I've been paid for. You know why I'm first class? Because a price has been paid for me. I could call the roll of how my price has been paid for. I've been paid for by blood that was shed for me. So I'm going to show up in first class to vote on a voting day. Why? Because because I've been paid for by the blood of Schwerner, Goodman, and Cheney. I've been paid for by those freedom fighters who went down to Mississippi during Freedom Summer. I've been paid for by the blood of Martin and Medgar and Malcolm. I've been paid for by the blood of Fannie Lou Hamer. I've been paid for by the blood of Jimmy Lee Jackson. Y'all still not shouting. I got one more person who paid a price for me. He hung out on a hill called Calvary, and the blood that never loses its power, it paid for me. Do I have some paid for saints in here who can testify? The reason I don't settle for anything less than God's first class for my life is because I've been paid for.
Bishop West Baptist Church.